Okay, let's talk about the cut-on fly. So the cut-on fly, the left and the right sides are different shapes. So we can see that this fly is cut on to this side, and this side is different. So that is one of the tricky things about it. I have interfaced just the fly portion, and I also have my fly shield, which I have half interfaced. The first thing I'm going to do is create my fly shield. Folding it in half right sides together. Not the most elegant of fly shields, but here we are. And I'm clipping it, grating it. And I'll turn that through. I'm going to give that a press, and then I'm going to show you, or attempt to show you, how to overlock this edge to finish it. It's really tricky. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this edge of the fly shield. Okay, now here comes the tricky bit. Now, serging this inside corner really sucks. We're going to start off making sure you're not trimming off any fabric, any seam allowance. Coming along that crotch seam, and then we have this point, this inside corner. So I'm going to neatly fold this out of the way to make that inside corner into a straight line, because you can serge a straight line. Then I'm doing the best I can. As I go around this corner, I'm just gonna actually just do this a little bit, reset. See how we did. Not bad. Okay, yep, we got it. A little bit of a press and that will be fine. Okay, I'll hop back on my machine. Okay, that was stressful, but it worked out pretty well. You can see I have, if you look really closely, you can see I have a drill hole here. Now that kind of shows where the end of that zipper is going to sit. You know, the end of the zipper is going to be here, and that aligns with the top. What we're going to do is we're going to sew this part of the crotch seam. However, that's a bit long. Because the order of assembly for trousers is to sew the left and the right leg separately and then do the crotch seam last, by sewing this fly in flat, which is what we're doing to make it easier, we need to kind of cheat things a little bit. So what that means is we'll still sew the right and the left legs together. However, we'll leave this bit open so that we have got some, so we can create the two different leg tubes, if you understand what I mean. So we can see that you can see the drill hole more clearly on the back here. So I'm going to start my sewing for that seam about there. Okay, let's align everything. And I'm going to stop it at that drill hole. Okay. There we go. So if I fold this back open, you can see now we have our fly shield, which I'm going to just fold back on itself, and we have our this underlayer here from this side. We're just going to pop the seam allowance onto this side so you can see it. Okay, I'm going to press the fly back on itself. So making sure I'm starting the pressing at the drill hole and pressing all the way up to the center front notch. Just really, really neatly pressing that into place. Okay, so I have my fly pressed back into place at the center front notch, and then I have another center front notch on the other side up here. Now what I'm going to do, because we want to hide our zipper, is I'm going to press back, in fact I did it already, press back this side, but not all the way. So not all of the seam allowance. So you can see it most clearly down here. This is where I stopped sewing, and this is where I'm going to press it. And that just gives us a little bit of leeway to kind of hide our zipper. So basically what's going to happen is when the zipper goes in like this, okay, this will well and truly overlap. So you'll never get the zipper tape kind of peeking out. So that's why I do that. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to sew our zipper to the fly shield. So I'm just going to neatly place it on top like this. Okay. And unzip it and align the zipper tape with that finished edge and just sew it on. Okay. At this point or some point, you'll need to zip it up. So stop with the needle down, lift the presser foot, and zip all the way up. Okay, so the zipper's attached to the zipper, to the fly shield. Okay, back to the pants. Okay, we have our pressed in part in place. I'm just going to place the zipper on the fly shield behind it like this, okay? And we're going to sew that down. So you can pin it. I've got the fold really close to the teeth, but not hanging over the teeth at all. Might need to unzip the zipper. Just making sure it's nice and flat. You'll need to have a zipper foot in place for this. Just a word of warning, you might have to adjust your tension when you use the zipper foot because there's not enough presser foot pressure. I'm not going to bother to do that, so my stitching might be a bit wonky. But anyway, so I'm going to now sew this zipper and fly shield to this side, really close to the edge. Just neatly. At this point, I'm going to zipper up. To be honest, I don't usually use pins for this bit, but you can. Or you can baste it if you're really scared. Okay, just make sure you're not running over that seam at all with this part folded back. Okie dokie. So now we can fold this side up. And what we're going to do is we're going to neatly match the notches here for the center fronts. Okay. And I'm going to, oopsie, pop a pin in it here just to hold it closed. Like this. You can do another one down here. Okay, and I'm going to just open this side up to expose this fly piece. Behind there is the zipper and the fly shield. And I'm going to just hold hold this down with my thumb, pull this up and grab just the zipper tape and the fly, leaving the fly shield free. And I'm going to pop a pin in it. Like that. I'm going to do that again to show you. Okay, so remember that the real center front is here because we didn't fold this seam all the way over. I'm going to match notches, my center front notches, making sure everything's nice and flat. I'm going to put some pins in it as though it was sewn. You can hand baste this shut if you want to at this point, if that is going to make things easier for you. The fly is the most stressful part of pants, really, I think. But it's not too bad. Okay. So we've got the center front pinned, and I'm just going to fold back just this top layer, just to show this fly. I'm just going to hold that down with my fingers. Okay. And then I've got it held down, and I'm just going to pull this up to see just that zipper tape. And I'm going to pin the zipper tape just to the fly, only to the fly. Okay. Just running my fingers along the back there and pinning it in place. Okay. Then I will double check that everything's still flat. Okay. That there's no kind of weird pulling or puckering. Okay. Fold it back. Now what I need to do is I need to attach this zipper to just the fly, but not the fly shield. So it's easiest if I then move this fly shield out of the way and sew from the zipper tape side. So get another pin and just pin it from the side you want to be sewing it from, the zipper tape side, and then you can take out this pin. Okay, same here. Put the pin in, take this pin out. Okay, by that point, things should be pretty evident about how to keep things nice and flat. So I've got this all pulled out of the way, just sewing just the zipper tape to the fly. Okay. See how the zipper pull kind of deforms things with the tape? Stop with your needle down. This is a bit fiddly. Lift your presser foot and just try and, oops, there's a pin in the way. You can try and unzip the zipper if you can, or just make it work. There we go. Right, and then just making sure that things are the same distance away from this fold line. Okay, let's see how I did. Pulling this one out. So, zip it up. We've got our front, which looks pretty flat. Good start. And then a zipper. I can, oops, open. Okay, and I can get into the pants, which is a good sign. That means that I didn't accidentally sew this to the fly shield. Okay, however, what's happening right now is if I put them on, it'll kind of open up like this. So we need to hold this in place, and the way we do that is with our J-stitch. So our J-stitch is our line of stitching that makes it, I guess, look like a fly. So we're going to start that J-stitch here where our drill hole was. It's going to attach this fly shield, sorry, the fly to the front, but not the fly shield. So we just need to make sure that it's neatly in place there. So I'm gonna I always like to draw a guideline in with some chalk to make sure that I'm gonna sew it correctly, basically. Okay, and then right into this corner. Now you can freehand it, you can use a French curve, whatever is going to make it make sense to you. I'm going to just unzip that so to make sure that it's the same distance from the center front all the way up. Okay, so I've got my chalked in J-stitch. Now, it's really important that this is out of the way, okay? That all your stitching is the front to the fly, okay? And you don't ever get this fly shield caught in. So you can pin it in place. If you accidentally sew it when it's a little bit like this, your fly will not sit flat. So again, pin it first, just to hold it in place, or baste it. And then check that everything's gonna sit flat, and then sew it. So I'm gonna start with my zipper open, okay? I'm gonna actually switch to my other press foot, I think. Just because it sews so much better. Okay. You can see it's really nice and flat. Following my chalk line. Okay, making sure that I'm never sewing more than just my front to that fly piece. Okay, at some point you're gonna have to zip up. So I'm gonna lift the presser foot, zip up, and pull that fly shield out of the way. Okay, it's tricky to do and keep everything flat, but we need to do it. I'm even gonna like just pivot it up like that. So I can feel, checking everything's smooth and flat. Okay, going around the corner, still feeling that everything's out of the way. So just pulled out of the way there. Okay. Here we go. It all went well, fortunately. The J-stitch is just stitching here. The shield is still free. Everything's pretty flat. Let's check it. So, unzip. Get in. Okay, that's good. But the fly shield can kind of flap around a bit like this. So the last step, okay, is to zip up, and we're just going to attach just this fly shield to the fly, just a little tiny stitching in the seam allowance here. So I can kind of do it from here, just make sure everything's flat. Okay, just a little stitch there. We don't see that on the right side, and that just holds it into place. So I hope that was helpful.